Hello everyone and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. Now this is not gonna be the normal playthrough that I do. This is gonna be a little tutorial. It's probably gonna be a series of a couple of episodes. Can't really tell how much, but we'll see in the end. So first of all, let's start off with the UI. The UI, if you played Hearts of Iron 3, you will probably recognize a lot, but a lot is also different. For example, there's a lot more tabs over here. We have a lot of notifications already. This is completely new. The Army experience, Navy experience, Air experience, and convoys. These are going to be important later on in the game because you're gonna need these to create your divisions and or upgrade troops, give them more reliability, weapons, things like that. Same goes for the Navy and for Air. The convoys play a really important part in this game as well because they will be used for trading with across sea or across ocean states like the USA, Mexico, the UK in the beginning of course, and well, every other American nation over there. And you also use them for invasions or when you're transferring troops. So like for example, I would pull, let's say, all of these guys over here. I would move them from here to Spain. They're gonna need ships. I mean, I don't have border access from France or Italy or Switzerland. Well, Italy doesn't really matter. So they're gonna have to be transported by boat. That's gonna take convoy ships. Or when you're planning an invasion, for example, I would plan an invasion over here, here, and here. You're gonna need ships for that to transport troops. That's also convoys. So over here, we have the German Reich flag, or your nation flag. You can select a couple of things here. You can change your government, you can change your economy, your trade laws, conscription laws, and political advisors. You can always change them out if you want, but I always stick to the person that I select from the beginning. You can also select a couple of factories over here that you want to build your stuff, and all of them give different kind of bonuses. So for example, you can choose this guy or Blom and Voss, and they both give different things. Same goes for planes and motorized stuff, tanks, that kind of stuff. You can change your military staff if you want, and national focuses. Now this is probably the replacement for the national events that you had in Hearts of Iron 3. Like for example, if it was 1st of September 1939, you would get the event of War of Danzig. That is this. You're gonna need to research. Well, I'm gonna call it research. You're gonna need to research all of this. Like if you want to go to Danzig of War, you need to go to Anschluss first, then reassert Eastern claims, and then you can do Danzig of War. But of course, you're gonna need to. There are some requirements for that to research stuff. For example, you needed more, like 550,000 for this, and here you see you need at least 950,000 manpower in the field. So this is basically all the nation events that you had in Hearts of Iron 3, but in a sort of tech tree, if you want to call it like that. So yeah, here you have your notifications. Basically all of your industrial things like research, diplomacy, trade, construction, production, recruit and deploy, and logistics. Everything will get a different tutorial for it. This is just a little starter tutorial. So right here Speaks for itself. You have the time and date of the and the year. This is the world tension meter. You can see who's creating a lot of fuss in the world. Of course, Germany is the biggest one. Who guessed? Germany's the biggest one of world tension. And you can see what wars are running right now. So, as you can see, the Japanese and the Chinese are at war with each other. You can see their victory, or their percentages to capitulation. So Japan is all fine, but China and People's Republic of China, it's looking a little bit bad. They're about 65% towards capitulation, and if that hits 100, they'll surrender to the nation that conquered them. You can see their casualties that they had in the war, and you can see the amount of divisions that they have, and of course the war participation. You have different map modes over here. For example, the one you use 99% of the time is default map mode. That is this right here. Basically your land combat map mode. You have navy map mode, where you can see your convoys, and if you assigned navy ships to patrol or destroy convoys, you can see that as well. Air map mode shows you the different kind of airports and which airports are occupied. Now, if you click on these air zones and select an airfield, you can assign different fighter groups or heavy fighter groups or transport groups to that region. For example, I want these Bf-109s flying in Eastern Germany. You select them, and then click on the region you want them to go. And then here you have two options: air superiority or interception. They both do something different, but they're both really useful, of course. And of course, if you want transport, you can select it over here, and they'll be flying there. If you want heavy fighters to patrol, send them over here. Same options as the light fighters, smaller fighters: air superiority and interception. You have the supply areas map mode, where you can see, well, basically what's the supply flow and the fuel flow. You have the states, where you can see the different kind of states in a nation. You have the resistance map mode. Well, because I'm playing as Germany, nobody is mad. So, for example, I would have taken France. Some of the states are gonna turn orange or red, which indicates there is heavy resistance. So you're gonna need military police in there to oppress them. You have the resource map mode, where you can see what state has what kind of resources. So, for example, right here near Prague, they have oil, rubber, and steel. Diplomacy map mode, you can basically see your relations with other countries, their opinion. And the factions map mode shows you who's in what faction and how big of an area they have. So the Allies, of course, Great Britain, France, Axis, Germany, Italy, and the Comintern, which is the Soviet Union, Mongolia, and Tanutuva. Japan is apparently not in the Axis yet, which kind of surprises me. And the Chinese United Front, which is a faction as well. So different countries can create their own factions right now, which is a lot different from Hearts of Iron 3, because Hearts of Iron 3, there were three set factions: the Axis, the Allies, and the Comintern. You couldn't create your own. You couldn't disband your faction, I would say. You couldn't do that, but now you can. You can. If I'm playing as Germany, you can see I'm the leader of the Axis. I could dismantle the Axis if I wanted to. Not right now because there's somebody else in there. But I could dismantle it if you want. This was a little bit of a tutorial on the UI, what it means, and all that kind of stuff. If you enjoyed this small tutorial, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next episode.